Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I am Tinesha Davis. This is Fun and Budget, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about January's budget. Woo! Child, that's all I can say. Now we're gonna do this a little bit differently. Normally in the past, you've seen me do my budget reviews where I showed you the side-by-side comparison of what I projected and what actually happened. This video, we're gonna talk about it, and hopefully it's not an hour long because it all went down this month. Okay, so basically the bottom line is this. Jay did my budget for the month of January. So my boyfriend did my budget. Check out the eye in the sky if you want to check out that video and how he did telling me what I should do with my money for the month of January. But as y'all know, life goes on, things pop up, things happen. So in this video, we're not going to talk about all of the things that went as expected, you know, my normal day-to-day bills. We're going to talk about the unexpected things or what deviated or that whole thing. We're going to tell the story. We're going to tell the story of my month of January, okay? So basically, I ended up making a little more than I expected. I said in the video that I was going to make $11,008, and Jay acted like I was hiding money from him, but I wasn't. I don't count my eggs before they hatch, right? So what ends up happening was I received some extra income. I received $250 in a travel credit from my credit card Citi. They refund about $250 when you spend travel expenses like plane tickets or hotels or whatever. So $250 was refunded back to me. Wasn't expecting that. I sold my Tesla charger to a subscriber who reached out to me. Shout out to you. But we sold that, and that brought in an extra $500. Then I also sold some more items around my house that brought in an extra $100. And then I actually moved $465 from my savings account over to my checkings account because some other stuff popped up, and we're going to talk about all of that. But with all of that being said, so that brought my total of income to $12,651. Again, that $465, you can kind of say that wasn't income, but the reason why I had to put it there is because I really had to track my expenses throughout the month, and to make everything work, I had to borrow $465 from my savings. So that's why that's there. So it's going to reflect as if my total income was $12,651 for the month of January, okay? Now, I think I kind of ordered this from lowest to highest as far as expenses go and things that happen. So the first thing is I spent $4. I rented Wild because a lot of you know part of my New Year's goals is to read like all of the books in all of the world. I think 80 books or something to that effect. I don't necessarily expect to reach 80 books, but there's 80 books on my list that I want to read, right? And so I read Wild, and after reading Wild, I really want to see the movie, so I rented Wild from Amazon Prime. So my mom and my sister had injuries. So I went to Virginia Beach for 4 days to help them out. My mom, my sisters, my family. I was more of a distraction than real help because y'all know. But I did bring my vacuum cleaner. So I went and I vacuumed floors and whatnot. And so my mom, she came up with this whole thing because my sister couldn't walk. And she kind of still can't walk. She's using my mom's walker at this point. And she's able to sit for short periods of time. But even that hurts. So she spends most of her time laying down on the floor. Laying on her stomach on the floor. So my mom said, if we go to Home Depot and we buy all these parts and pieces, we can build a machine, a contraption, so my sister can lay on it and roll across the earth and get where she needs to go in her house. But I'm like, Mom, she has carpet. That is not going to work. But my mom didn't believe me. So we had to go and we had to buy all the parts and all the pieces to prove that this was not going to work. Because that's the only way my mother was going to believe it wasn't going to work. And so I bought all of this stuff at Home Depot. That came to about $44, and we also bought knee pads because with my sister crawling, her knees was hurting and stuff like that. So we bought some knee pads, which my mom also had me test out. So with everything, none of the stuff worked, just as I said, but we did keep the knee pads. So that came to $13. All right, so my total trip to Virginia Beach came to $26 because I spent $5 at Dairy Queen. I spent $8 at McDonald's, and that was driving to Virginia Beach when I was at the charging station. I needed something to eat. It cost me nothing to go there because I have a Tesla and charging is free. It made me think about what did I eat though when I was there, because my grandmother and my mother, they be on struggle life. Look at the pictures. They be on struggle life. They actually tried to feed me this stuff right here. Like my grandma was eating Cheerios with cut up fruit in it, like honeydew and melon, things that don't even go in cereal. And she tried to sell that to me as if it was good and try to offer me some for myself. And my mom was trying to offer me like canned soups and stuff. So I think what it was is I had some cash money still on me from Christmas, and so I spent that eating. I spent $41 on clothes. I went to Target because of Black History Month. I was watching somebody else's video and they were showing all of the things that Target has in the name of Black History. You know, new t-shirts and just the stuff. So I went there because I wanted some of the stuff too. But when I went there, I also saw that they also had a good clearance going on. I'm talking about sweaters for $7 and whatnot. So because you can't try things on, I just picked up a bunch of things and I purchased a bunch of things. When I say a bunch, it was probably like 5. And that stuff came to like $41. But then I went home and I tried on everything and I returned $18 worth of the things that just did not work for me. And so that left my purchase at $23 at Target. I also spent $50 on the Kev on Stage app. $50 was for the year subscription, and I just really wanted to support that business and that entrepreneurial endeavor. Still haven't really watched anything on the app yet, but you know. I bought $56 for a round trip flight to see Jay. That was for January. Remember, he gave me $500 for my spending. I only spent $56 on my flight, right? So because the flight was only $56, I used more of that $500 to buy another flight, a $51 flight, round trip flight, to go and see him in March, where we also have a planned trip to go to Orlando. And so out of that $500, I also spent another $145, and that was for $55 from the ATM. That was $90 eating out. We went to the Boiling Crab. We went to Red Rooster. And so those two things came to $145, and that's all I spent out of my $500 Miami budget. I told y'all I didn't need $500 for Miami. $70 for the Spirit membership. For me, Spirit is the most economical way for me to get to and from Miami, being that that's where Jay is. Now, it's not all that convenient. I mean, it's convenient enough. I have to go to BWI, which is about an hour and a half from my house, right? And then I have to fly to Fort Lauderdale, which is probably about an hour and a half from Jay's house. Miami would be much closer for him, and Dulles Airport will be much closer for me. However, for $50 and $51, we do Spirit because we go back and forth a lot. So I just really try to save money there. So I'm more on the side of saving money more than convenience, but I might start leaning more toward the convenience side. Because we do well for ourselves, Jay and I. I'm throwing Jay up in there because Jay, Boo Thing, called me today to tell me how much he made last year. For 2020, and he made more than he thought he made. He made more than I thought he made. So, yo, Jay, you might have to start giving me some money for travel. Now let me stop. Yeah, well, the bottom line, I think, is not so much that he has to start giving me money. We just have to stop hanging on to our struggle life ways sometimes, because 3 hours in travel for an airport, it might just be worth spending an extra $50 or so to have more convenience on our side. Might be. We'll cross that bridge when I buy another plane ticket. We'll see how I really feel. Okay, so my $110 for Pick Monkey came due. We paid that. And then I did another juice detox for the price of $117. And this go round, me and about 10 other people did it. So that was cool. And I think I might share it with you guys on this channel. It was a 5-day detox, and I ended up losing like 10 pounds. But the jury is still out at this point whether I'm going to share it or not, right? So we'll see. $122 for the gas bill. It went up some because I've been freezing. Y'all know winter and all. But I was thinking, like, what are some things that I can do? I try to keep my heat on eco mode as much as possible. Eco mode gets the house to about 70 degrees. But sometimes at night, like, I'm freezing and I may bump it up to 72. But I do know what I can start doing a little better, being a little more reflective on it. And that is just putting on more clothes, putting on my socks, putting on warm gears, putting on layers, you know, my house coat, things like that. And that can save me on that because, again, where you can save money why not? It's not like the house is absolutely freezing, but sometimes I be cold. $200 I had to use to cover the rental. And I know I said this in another video, but I'm not even sure what order these videos come in. But the water company for my rental property actually sent me a notice saying that they were going to place a lien against my home because the tenant had not been paying the water bill. The water bill is over $600 and something. And so I did call them to see what can we do about anything short of me paying the $600 water bill. So anyways, that is that. But in the meantime, to make my mortgage, I have to add an additional $200. Plus I add a $70 to cover the security system. Plus I pay the HOA fees of about $900 a year. But in other news, I am working on canceling the security system because like I said, I've been paying $70 a month every single month for the past 7 freaking years. So I also spent another $210 because of travel, y'all. So I have some friends that getting married in January of 2022, and it's gonna be in Mexico, Cancun. And so me and my road dog Gwen are gonna go to this wedding, and we put down $210 a piece, and that covered $160 of that is for insurance. Yeah, because y'all know we don't know what's going on these days, but the insurance that we're paying will give us all of our money back in the form that we paid and not like in travel credits or anything like that. But hopefully it all goes through because I am so ready to travel again. And this is going to be at an all-inclusive, and it's just absolutely beautiful. We're getting the pimped out baller room with the swim out. It would have been super dope if Jay could go, but Jay's acting like he can't go to Mexico no more because of, I don't know, I think he owed a timeshare or something, and he act like they're going to get him as soon as he stepped foot across the border. So we ain't got time to play with Jay with those things, so I just, you know, we got somebody else we can go with, so we gonna go. And believe it or not, I've actually never been to Cancun. I've been to Playa del Carmen, which was wonderful, but I've never been to Cancun. So that's kind of interesting. Out of all the places I've traveled, really, you can't go to Cancun though? All right, so we went to Nashville, Tennessee for the end of December and the beginning of January, and that was absolutely amazing. I loved it, and I spent $658 on Nashville. Let's see, Jay and I, me and my boyfriend, we actually split costs, and so for my expenses, it breaks down like this. I spent $251 for the hotel for 4 nights, $141 for rental car for the whole time we were there. I spent $78 total for food, which was actually pretty good because we actually treated our YouTube friends while we were out there. And again, for me, that was still only came to $78. And we spent $113 for entertainment. And again, this is just what I paid. Jay paid some other things, but this is my expenses. So $113 for entertainment. And I did about $75 in shopping at the Dave Ramsey studio. But actually, I had cash to pay for that, so that piece came out in cash. But yeah, I absolutely had a really good time in Nashville. $928 covered my annual timeshare dues for the year. And this expense for me is a break-even expense because with my timeshare, I have it for 4th of July weekend in Virginia Beach, Virginia on the Strip. And so I sell it every year for about $1,500. Now, I paid $300 for the company who actually finds the person who rents it. So they take about $300, so that leaves me about $1,200. And then as y'all see, I pay the $928. So that $1,200 pays that $928. And then the other good thing that happens is because of this, I'm able to write off all these expenses and stuff as a business expense because I do make money and I do get a 1099 for it. And so that's what it is. But is it worth having a timeshare just to make $200 a year or so? Not really. No. And of course there's some years where I just choose to use it and everything, but to me, y'all see how I travel. I can go on a bomb vacation at a bomb place and pay way less than $928. I can when it comes to splitting expenses with travel mates and everything. So timeshares just really aren't worth it to me. Maybe if you have like a big family and it's a bunch of you and you have to accommodate like you, your spouse and your children to travel, perhaps. But to have to sign up for that for your life, for the rest of your life, it's bogus. Okay, my next expense, y'all. My Tesla. My Tesla needed its 12-volt battery replaced, right? This is fine. We all know that with cars, batteries have to be replaced here and there. I have my car for 4 years now, and my car is a 2013, right? So, okay, fine. The battery has to be replaced. So I put it in the shop, and with the battery being replaced, like all this other stuff ended up having to be replaced too. So it came to like about $400 in parts and then about $500 in labor. And then they told me that they had to charge another $200 because there were some other concerning issues and a diagnosis had to be ran for that. And so this came to $1,163. And this is also the reason why I had to borrow that $465 from my savings to cover this expense, right? I was gonna move about $500 to my savings after I paid the Monopoly game. Check out the Eye in the Sky for that savings game. So I rolled and $500 went to savings. So between the Monopoly game and between moving for 65, that's how I covered paying for this car, right? What happened is I end up getting $200 back for the diagnosis because come to find out they never ran it, and then my car ends up breaking down the day after I got it back because of the thing that they said was wrong, this concerning issue that they forgot to check for. My car gave up the ghost on the way to the airport. So not only did I miss my flight going to Florida, I had to pay $170 to have the car towed. I missed out on the parking that I had already paid for. I prepaid parking for $43. Now, y'all know that my flight ticket, my original flight was only $55 for round trip. But I ended up having to buy another flight to get to Florida since I missed that flight with this broken down car. And that ended up coming about $233. Oh, and then I ended up having to take an Uber to get to the airport, which came to $30, right? Where we stand at this point is they did fix my car. My car is not under warranty anymore, but they said that the drive unit is what broke, was what needed to be replaced or repaired or something, the drive unit, right? And so they did replace it, and they said it fell under the drive unit warranty. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's just some parts with my car that had extended warranties, and I need to call and check and have a conversation about that. Or did they fix this before, and because they fixed it before, was that under a warranty? I don't even know. These days, because of the pandemic, it's hard to get on the phone with anybody these days. So a lot of this is texting back and forth in a message app, which is not ideal. Like, I need a conversation. I need a conversation. And so that's where we're at with that. Now, with all of this, they did ask me to send them all of my receipts for all of the expenses that I just listed out to you guys, and that they were going to reimburse me. But as of today, which is January 31st, I haven't heard back from them as to exactly how they are going to reimburse me, because I did already pay that $965 repair bill for the battery. So at first I was thinking that, oh, they'll just discount it off of that. But I already paid that, right? So I need to keep following up with them to find out how they plan on reimbursing me. And what I would really like to be reimbursed, like, you don't have to reimburse me for my $55 plane ticket. That's fine. I already bought that. That's what I was already doing. But what you do need to reimburse me, because this is what they agreed to, is the $170 tow, the $228 new plane ticket, the $30 Uber to the airport, and the $43 parking that I didn't use because I didn't even have a car to park. Luckily, I was able to use my original $55 flight return, so I was able to still use that. And luckily, my friend Donna Maria picked me up from the airport So in Baltimore, all the way in Baltimore. So she drove from DC, picked me up from Baltimore, and drove me back to my home in Northern Virginia. So all of those pieces worked out. At the end, everything worked out. I was still able to get to Florida on the same day that I wanted to get there. I just got there 4 hours after my original time. So all of that is a blessing, because y'all know real things are happening in this world. So I was just inconvenienced a little. That was it. Now, let's talk about the supercharger that I sold. All right, so I sold the charger. Like I said, I sold it for $500, but I wasn't sure how the expenses for that was going to work. So even though I sold it for $500, I did not profit $500. So $15 was taken out for PayPal fees, and then I spent $105 on shipping. Shipping and insurance cost $75. I wanted to insure it just in case, like, it was, you know, lost, broken, or whatever. But then UPS said that the insurance only covers it if it is lost. It won't cover broken. For it to be covered by broken, they would have to repackage it. So I was like, let me have them repackage it, because I just wanted to cover all my bases. And so the repackaging came to $30, and that was the only way that it was going to include damages. And so what's that? $380. So I made about $380 off of selling it. All right, so also let's talk about this. So for my budget, Jay gave me $150 to spend on groceries. I only spent $32. And then he gave me $100 to spend on eating out, and I only spent $37 eating out. He gave me $50 for household, and I spent zippity doodah on that. And then for savings, I saved $602. It would have been $1,102, but the whole Tesla thing. Now, $602. So what that really also means is that $465 that I borrowed from myself, I would actually put it back already, but I just didn't change up the numbers because I had already wrote out everything, and it was just cheaper to keep her. So that's what happened there. Okay, I did do over $1,200 this month in gifts. This included about $400 for a YouTube person who I met on YouTube. I don't know her. I watched her video on YouTube, and my heart went out for what she was going through, so I sent her some money. We got a friend's husband a gift because he always takes care of us. Like whenever all of us bombard their house, he just really takes care of us. So we put in and got him a gift. I bought my sister a detox kit. I put about $1,700 in investment accounts, and then I am paying an extra $1,593 on my mortgage. With all of this being said and done, I actually moved about $3,137 to various savings accounts. And after everything is said and done, everything is paid, and everything is moved and gone to where it's supposed to be, I still have $949 left in my checking. Now, you guys know from another video, or maybe you don't know, this could be your first time watching me, but I talked in another video how I had this extra money in my account, and I don't know why, but I'm just kind of leaving it there just in case I forgot something. So I have $949 left in my account that's unaccounted for. That will eventually probably just be moved to a savings account, but I'm kind of leaving it there now. And I know that there's two things that money may have to stand in the gap for. One of those things is if Tesla doesn't come through and pay all my expenses the way they said they would. That's one of the things. And the second thing is with my rental property, the stove is now broke. It needs to be replaced. The stove is over 20 years old, so I'm pretty sure that a new stove may be in order. And so I may have to buy a new stove. I'm looking for the cheapest thing out there right now. So far, I've found something for like about $300. And so that's why that money is going to stay there just in case. So guys, that is my month of January. That's what happened with my money this month. Was that confusing? Is this okay for you guys to have this sort of talking through video of telling you guys what happened and why and all of that? Or do you prefer the other way where you kind of look at the side-by-side comparison? I don't know. Talk to me in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a member of the Fun and Budget Fab family. And I will meet you down there. Until the next video, guys. Peace.